Welcome into this edition of Inside Broncbuster Athletics. I'm Mike Pilosof, pleased to be joined this week as we go from volleyball last week to football this week, and we bring in another Garden City guy, and that's Refugio Chairez. We appreciate you coming on.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Offensive lineman, so we know we like the big guys, the guys up front. For people that are not familiar with your entire story, your whole idea was you graduated early in December. Mm-hmm. What was the idea behind that?
Kind of just didn't want to waste time, you know. I finished all my credits I needed to. I love football, so I was like, just join the Broncbusters and get a head start from everyone else into the season. But then that was cut short.
Yeah, everything's kind of changed, obviously, since then. But you played in the Shrine Bowl, and not only did you play in the Shrine Bowl, you were a captain of the West team. What was that experience like the whole week?
At first, it was kind of awkward because you didn't know many people, even though, you know, you're all kind of like the top kids at your school. I didn't know many of them. But the bus rides, going to practice and back, and then getting to know everyone during practice, we all got more comfortable with each other and just hanging out, laughing, eating together, and just having a good experience.
This pandemic has shut down the world, it seems like, and now the news coming out this week that both the Big Ten and the Pac-12 are not playing football. Because you were able to play a game recently, more recently than most people have, because you played in the Shrine Bowl, what was your initial reaction when you heard that those conferences were shutting it down?
I just felt bad for the kids because I know what they're going to. You know, we got our season postponed. So I know what they're going to. They had to wait even longer to play. So it kind of sucks for the kids, but now they know they're going to be even hungrier to play a real game and in front of the friends and family, and I just can't wait till they get their game back.
Not to make this a political show, because that's not what this is, but did you agree? I mean, do you think because you played in a game that we can just push through this thing? Is that your belief, or do you maybe have some reservations about it?
I'm kind of in the middle. I would love to see everyone playing. You know, it makes everybody seem happier seeing their favorite people play. But then I understand what some of the worries are, because I've had my family get sick from COVID. So I know how bad it sucks and how it can hurt people, but I think we could have pushed through with the Pac-12 and Big Ten playing, but there's people smarter than me, and so
you and me both.
Yeah. So I understand.
The precautions, the safety precautions during the Shrine Bowl, what was that like? Was it something like you've never seen before? Was it totally over the top? What was that like?
Yeah, I've never had to wear a mask for, I think, anything. So the whole mask thing was new to me. So having to wear a mask throughout the whole week was kind of crazy, but I understood and everybody else understood because we knew we're trying to play this game, we're trying to raise money for the kids, and we're trying to show the state that we can play a game.
I remember interviewing you when you were a freshman in high school, and I said, man, this guy looks like he's 90 years old. We kind of make the joke, you have the full beard, you obviously have it now. When you look back from your 9th grade year to where you're at now, how do you see football now? What's the biggest difference in how you see the game compared to when you were a 9th grader?
Honestly, I thought I was going to get some grown men when I was in 9th grade. I was like, these dudes look like they're 30. They look like they're going to the NFL right after this. So, just where I thought everyone else was when I was. So when I was in 9th grade, you know, I thought everything was scary, and I didn't think I could play the game with these 18-year-olds. But now I played my 9th grade year, and it wasn't as bad as I thought it was, and so I just kept it going. You know, I was like, I can hang with these big dudes, and I took that into going into college. So, and that's just where I think I'm at, I guess.
Wrestling, that was a big part of what you did in high school as well. And I was there when you won the state championship in 2019. And the coolest part about that was you almost put Carlos Prieto, the head coach, on the mat. What do you remember most about that moment when you won the state title, 285?
The first thing I remember was when I was on my back. So I was on my back, I was looking back, and I saw my coach, and he was like, roll over. And so I was just trying. I finally rolled him over, and I pinned him, and I was like right in front of my coaches, so right when they pinned him, I just was excited. It was all a blur until Coach Prado just came up and jumped on me like a monkey.
Are you surprised that he didn't break his back? I mean, you're not a small guy. You're an offensive lineman. You're a 285-pound guy.
Honestly, it was kind of it was like a jump scare because he just jumped on me, and I just felt myself collapse. So he's okay, I think. He's still wrestling around with the other kids. So
it was a great moment.
Yeah.
Obviously. Before you ever committed to Garden City, originally you were going to go to Joplin. You were going to go with Jeff Sims, former coach here, and played there at Missouri Southern State. Why the change?
Just kind of not ready for to leave everyone here. So, I talked with Coach Sims, and when I got the offer, it was kind of exciting because I grew up with him and his sons. So I thought it would be a cool experience to see what he did to Garden City. And I thought he'd do that with Joplin. And, he's still growing the program there. And he asked me to join him and his team and, keep building the program. And I was excited about that, but things changed, and I thought I have a better opportunity here and stay with friends and family. And so that was just kind of the decision-making process right there.
I know hindsight's 20/20, it always is, but Division II canceled their football season. We don't know if they're going to have a spring. Right now, we are still scheduled to have a spring season. Mm-hmm. In retrospect, do you feel like you made the right decision by staying home?
Yeah, I believe so. Just kind of, I still get to hopefully play football and still get better. We have kids already coming in, and it's exciting to see them again. So I'm glad I'm still here.
As much as you dominated in high school, when you got there, we talked about when you were a freshman and you looked like you were, again, 30 years old, but you dominated. But the words and everything that's been told to me and some of the stories that I've read, they think that you're too small to play on the offensive line in college. When you hear that, what goes through your mind?
Kind of they don't trust the small guys in Western Kansas. I mean, a lot of the kids in Western Kansas are pretty small, but they play like they're 360 pounds left tackle in OSU or something. they play like that. But D1s they recruit kids to that are ready to play at the next level. But there's some kids that are 5'10", 250 pounds that are amazing, but they still choose it. 6'5" kids that probably played one season of varsity football.
It's amazing when you say small guy, because every interaction I've ever had with you, I've never seen you as a small guy. But
yeah.
What was more challenging for you? Playing high school football for 4 years against some of the best competition in the state, or lifting a 700-pound piano in my house from the upstairs to the basement?
I got to go with your piano.
That was pretty tough. I'll tell you what, I've never seen people struggle, especially you.
Yeah.
And not that you struggled, but it almost seemed like you kind of did, and there was a bunch of other football players. That was a memorable day.
Oh, yeah, that was the biggest teamwork thing I had to do.
That was crazy. It was pretty funny, though.
Yeah.
You played for Brian Hill. You wrestled for Carlos Prieto. What did those two men mean to you in high school?
They're the people I look up to. They took me in like I was their own. I've talked to them about whatever I need to talk to them about, and they're always here for me. I still talk to Coach Hill, Coach Pratt. I haven't seen in a while, but I know we'll still be good pals and stuff, and I know I can still talk to him about anything. I have a little brother that wrestles and plays football, so I'll still keep in touch with them and tell him to kick his butt.
Is it true you started as a soccer player? And why did you switch to football only?
I was tired of not being able to hit people. That was the main part. Yeah, I played soccer in, I think, 5th grade, because that's the only thing my parents let me do. They were like, we don't want you to get hurt. I was like, all right, we'll play soccer. In 7th grade, I finally let my parents, I asked them, I did good grades and everything. I was just asking them if I could play, and they finally did, and it turned out really good for me.
There's been some videos on Twitter all over the place during your high school career where you're squatting it seems like 1,000 pounds. When did you start squatting? The video I'm thinking of is, I think DeMarcus Elliott was actually your spotter, if you can remember that.
Yeah. I started really getting into weightlifting my 8th grade year. I finally got out of being lazy after my 7th grade year, and then in 8th grade I started getting more into weightlifting and playing sports because I knew I was going into high school the next year. So my 8th grade year, my highest squat was 405, and freshman year was 455, and a big jump to 565, and then 675, and then 765.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
Think about that. You can't even squat 50 pounds, so congratulations on that.
Thank you.
I'll get you out of here on this. The spring semester at Garden City, you were put on the dean's list.
Mm-hmm.
Academically, you've been strong. So in your mind, what's a bigger accomplishment for you? The all-WAC, the all-state, being named one of the top linemen in the state of Kansas, or what you've been able to accomplish in the classroom?
Definitely what I've been accomplishing in the classroom, because I know it's bigger than football. It's about my academics. 6'1", 300 pounds. I don't think I'm going to the NFL. Even if I try my hardest, that's not even my goal. My goal is to get my degree and start raising money and start a business. So
businessman Refugio, is that what it is?
Yep.
All right. Well, we appreciate you coming on.
Thank you.